But it feels like Russ is headed to Pittsburgh, and it's starting to get real. He's speed dating. His team has allegedly come out and said that he would play for the Las Vegas Raiders. Would the Raiders have him play for them? We don't know. Where do you stand with Pittsburgh, the Broncos, Mark Schlereth's comments, and Russell Wilson potentially being your guys' quarterback?
This kind of washed over me last night when I was looking at myself in the mirror before going to bed. I'm kind of sick to my stomach. For half of my life, 17 years, I woke up every day and I knew that 7 was going to be our quarterback and we're going to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I woke up this morning and I'm trying to convince myself that a guy that I said sucked for the last 3 years is going to save the franchise, okay? Russ Wilson's coming to the Steelers. I am sick to my stomach. Okay?
About yourself or about the situation?
Just about the situation. This...
Not yourself. You would never feel like that about you.
No, I feel about myself like that every day, but that's...
Okay, this is starting to ooze out of you to the outside world now. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to convince yourself that Russ is going to lead you to a Super Bowl is quite a place to be in as a fan. Yesterday I was doing it, and then Schlereth came in and he kind of changed my opinion a little bit.
Yeah, but he was in the middle of a workout. He was a little jacked up.
True. Yeah, it was a tough time with Russ in Denver.
And basically, if we bring Russ in, that's admitting that we missed out on a first-round quarterback. We just wasted that pick. I'm in a bad spot today with it all, Pat, to be honest with you.
Well, I think the Russell Wilson interest is you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, Tom.
Don't worry, Tony. Yeah. Still got TJ Watt.
You've convinced yourself to say a lot more things, so you'll be able to get through this one, if I had to guess. But the Russell Wilson market has become a very big one, we assume, because the price in which a team is going to have to pay him is like $1.2 million because he's already getting $39 from the Denver Broncos, who are in the middle of dealing with the biggest dead cap acceptance in the history of the NFL. Hey, $85 million over the next 2 years you're not going to be able to use to build your team in a team-building way that money is a massive piece of it. This is the biggest ever, by far. This is 100 and something % more than the last biggest dead cap that has ever been had by anybody, which I believe was Matt Ryan with 40-some at Atlanta. Then there was Carson Wentz. Then there was Aaron Rodgers. Then there was Russ Wilson whenever he left the Seattle Seahawks or whatever. So it's like all these things that are being decided by the Denver Broncos saying, we'll pay all this money to get him out of here. Then you listen to Mark Schlereth being like, Scott ruined the franchise. Yeah. That's what Mark Schlereth basically said. Can't throw over the middle, which a lot of people started following up with. Well, he's not tall enough to throw the ball over the middle. That's why he has to move in this entire thing. Pittsburgh Steelers haven't thrown the ball down the middle ever. Like, that hasn't been their offense.
Not in the last 2 years.
At all anyway. So it's like, at $1.2 million, though, I think there's a lot of teams that are like, yeah, I hear you, Mark. And we saw it too in Denver and Monaco and everywhere else. But $1.2 million, this guy's less than a punter or a kicker. This guy's less than some long snappers. Okay? So paying a guy $1.2 million, massive weapon for a team. So I assume you don't care that the Steelers are taking a meeting because they
No.
Okay.
No, I don't care that they're taking a meeting. I just came to the realization last night that they're not winning a Super Bowl with them.
Were you with your daughter when this came
No,
over?
I had put her to bed already.
Okay, so now you're alone time with
her. It was just me and my wife is out of town. So
Tony's thoughts.
It was just me and myself, which is not a good place to ever. Like, I need distractions, and this washed over me. But, maybe he'll be great again. But, maybe, everyone was super happy when he left Seattle, and everyone's super happy when he left Denver. But the next team is going to be great, maybe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, the price. I mean, at $40 million, you're pissed that you have Russell Wilson. But at 1.2,
happy he's here.
Why not?
Why does he come to the Colts?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
they need a backup, right? Gardner's a free agent.
Bingo. Maybe he starts the season. Anthony Richardson watches. Does his entire thing, and he comes in.
Learns how to slide, get down, because Russ is great at that.
Yeah, let him cook a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, $1.2 million. Yeah, he'd be getting paid less than our long snapper gets paid.
Bingo.
It's like, yeah, I will certainly roll the dice on a Russell Wilson being a guy on our team at that price tag. If it was $20 million, I think it's a whole different conversation.
Sure. Yep.
But now $1.2 million, he's taking pictures with fans.
Yep.
Think about the babyface turn, where he's going to make $39 million next year regardless.
Yes.
So he's still getting paid top of the market for quarterbacks next year. But in a fan's perspective, in 31 teams' perspective, he's no expectation, no money. It's like, what a move for Russ to have happen, even though it had to suck. the way Denver ended,
For sure.
how Denver went, had to suck. It's like he's found himself in a great position right now, and that's just a matter of fact.
Yeah, low risk for sure, obviously, for anyone who picks him up, but I think that also, unfortunately, and who knows, this could be completely wrong, we'll see, but that almost kind of signals like hey, this guy just isn't very good anymore.
Whoa!
We don't know how it happened. It's kind of been like a very quick fall from grace, but if that's the
Dan Orlovsky said he was top 10 in the league.
He certainly did.
did
And then
say that.
yesterday, Stink, who lives in Denver, said, this guy sucks. He sucks. I watched him
Once again, he was with Fuji.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and like you said, testosterone's pumping. Who knows what kind of
Pre-workout.
workout he had.
Jack.
But
Creatine is definitely in there somewhere.
But if that's the only reason you're bringing him in is just because, like, hey, he's cheap, It's like, are you actually thinking that he's all of a sudden going to turn into 2015, 2013 Russ? I don't think so. Like like Tony said, like is Russ Wilson winning you a Super Bowl now? I don't think he is. And I think a lot of teams probably think that way, but also if the alternative is, hey, we're going to absolutely stink, like this guy might be able to lead us to the playoffs if he has like a big resurgence here. But when the silver lining to bring him in and the only reason you're bringing him in is because, hey, he's cheap, Denver's paying him everything, like I don't think that necessarily signals like the most glowing
What are you
endorsement
saying,
of the
Ty?
guy.
You're saying that all this is fake. This is Fugazi's happiness.
Yeah, kinda.
This is Fugazi's happiness.
And again, I'm happy for Russ.
You see him taking pictures. You see how happy that guy.
He's getting
Pumped.
paid.
New
He
haircut.
probably
Chili Jets.
He didn't
comes out of
wanna-
the cockpit. It's like, wait a second.
exactly,
Russ?
and he never really, he hasn't got to do this before in his career. He got traded to the Broncos. Like he hasn't got to go around. It's just unfortunate that the situation now is like he's just a piece of poop on the scrap heap, and they're just like, hey, we'll bring you in for $1.2 million. Sure, you want to come in and see the facility, but he's not getting wooed by anyone. You know?
Don't know that.
I think I do.
They said Mike Tomlin's bringing them a Rudy sub, some Permain sandwiches.
Like, are the Giants just handing him over? Is Dan Jones still a thing? Are the Steelers just handing it over? Is
Yeah,
Kenny still a thing? Are the Raiders just handing it over? Is Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell or whatever still a thing?
The Giants brought him a slice of Sbarro and said, hey, here you go. You want to check out the facility? And-
Sparrow not bad.
no, I love Sbarro.
I love Sparrow.
I do.
too.
It's a classic New York slice.
If there's Sparrow in airport, I'm normally pretty pumped.
For sure. Beeline him.
Okay, I will do that. Feels like they got the weight of the slice
Yep.
and the paper plate ratio figured out.
Remarkable.
Because some of those, it gets all sloppy.
Oh, yeah.
Sparrow is the perfect mall, airport,
Yes.
move, slice.
Affordable combos as well. You get to slice the breadstick and the drink for $7.
Well, and then they also put it in the oven to make me feel like they're doing it for me.
Exactly.
Heat it
Oh,
up.
so even though this thing's been made for a couple hours,
Yep.
you are personally cooking it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say, if it's not fresh, you might as well just eat the paper plate. It's got to be
Whoa.
fresh out of the oven. You can't have them put it back in the oven, heat it up. It's
That's
got to be fresh.
Nicholas Franklin Moraldo talking, and Anthony DeJulio's pumping his fists over here.
Today's a much better day now after I just read something.
What you just read, was it something about
Whoa.
Sparrow being the best pizza
No.
in town?
Best
it is.
place
An
you can find.
actual free agent who would make a huge difference is scheduled to visit the Steelers.
Mitch Morse is traveling to Pittsburgh
wow.
to meet with the Steelers.
Now that's something that gets me going. Like
All right.
now, Friday's so much better now.